My goal with this seamless transition is to never give the defense a chance to regroup, take a deep breath, or receive instructions from their coach. Those defenders better get back, stop the ball, get in help position, and be ready for anything. Because the read and react system allows the offense to attack from the moment we get our hands on the ball. And we're going to take whatever the defense gives us as soon as we can. Once your players have absorbed even the first, most basic layer, you can begin to drill it full court. Here's how I do it. The players move in a circle so that anyone could get the rebound. I begin with letting the rebounder dribble all the way down the court and pretend that our fast break failed. He'll stop and keep his dribble at either of the two wings or head of the key. Now, I know that many of you have a different philosophy about who brings the ball up the court. Again, this is not fixed in stone. You adjust it to your own philosophy. However, I'm talking about a progression. And during practice, this is a good way to drill the real game-like ball handling skills into all of your players. Now, back to the drill. Those without the ball must run the floor in one of the other 4 lanes. When each player hits the arc, they make basket cuts or at least cut the lane. This is meant to encourage and simulate a primary 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 fast break. During the drill, the players will run as if to score with a primary fast break, but instead they'll pretend to not be open and complete their cuts through the lane. From this point on, your players are in familiar territory. They've just completed a basket cut. And like every other layer in the offense, we are dovetailing our transition into a layer of the offense that players are already familiar with. What have they been trained to do after basket cuts? Fill out to an open spot. In this manner, we're immediately playing half-court offense without backing up, setting up, or waiting for everyone to get down the floor. Point out to the players that this basket cut and fill an open spot is their move to get open in the half-court offense. I don't want them to stop in the lane, change directions, and fill out the same side. I want them to finish their cut through the lane for several reasons. If they stop and change directions, they will wear out their legs over the course of the game. Also, what does it accomplish? Nothing. Finishing their cut through the lane and filling out on the opposite side makes their defenders follow them and change sides of the floor as well. If your defender is concentrating on you and your movement without the ball, then he's less likely to guard the situation, that is, be in the correct helping position to stop the ball. Changing sides of the floor by cutting through the lane allows you the chance to hang your defender on another cutter or run him into one of his own teammates. As the layers of development increase, players will notice that they can actually stop and set screens for each other. If you have post players that you don't want on the perimeter, then they can set a screen, shape up to the ball, and remain in the post straight out of transition. If the first 1 or 2 players down the court are much faster than the trailers, they'll find that as they're filling out to their open spot, they'll have a chance to back screen one or both of the trailers. By now, this movement of basket cut, fill out, set a back screen should be such a well-ingrained habit that I would be surprised if you needed to do a little more than point it out. And what a great secondary break option it makes. And what did it take to add the primary break and secondary break to your half-court offense? Was this a huge system to be broken down, taught, and drilled, only to take up more precious practice time? No. All that was needed to add this icing to your cake is to tell your players that they must complete their transition down the floor by sticking their head under the basket or somewhere in the lane and fill out to the other side. From that point forward, your players are on familiar ground and playing with familiar habits.
Collapsing time frames.
This drill can be turned into a conditioner as well. The players must make a certain number of trips, scoring with a different option on each trip. If they miss the shot, then they play it like a defensive rebound. If they make the shot, they must treat it as if their opponents made the shot and get it out of bounds and up the floor with whatever method you require. I would much rather have 4 or 5 trips like this that condition my players' lungs and add some ball handling and train my team's offensive system. To me, it easily beats running 4 or 5 sprints, which accomplish nothing more than conditioning. Eventually, I add the verbal press, and the ball handler must stop where he is and run the press breaker. Breaking the press does not mean you should stop attacking the goal, and that's what I want to reinforce. Our offense must be seamless, regardless of what happens.
Next step, add dummy defense.
The next level adds dummy defenders who are waiting at the half court. They play the best possible position defense without touching the ball. For the defenders,